What's up, everyone? Today I'm going to be reviewing the album by the Jonas Brothers. Yes, it is called The Album. This is the Jon Bellion produced Jonas Brothers project that came out in 2023. And this album is incredible. Now, for me, my favorite thing about this album is how diverse it is. And what I mean by that is there's so many different genres of music on here. There's R&B on here. There's gospel on here. There's singer-songwriter country songs on here. There's reggae and Latin inspired songs on here. There's party songs on here. There's personal songs on here. There's love songs on here. Like, it's 12 songs long, and every song on here, yes, it sounds connected because it's a body of work, but it also sounds, every song on here sounds very different from each other, right? Because you can go from a song like Miracles or Miracle to a song like Little Bird, which Little Bird is the Jonas Brothers talking about how eventually their daughters are going to have to get married, and that song is about, Little Bird is about how they're eventually going to have to let their daughters go and get married and go and live their life independently from them, and they're singing about how hard that's going to be when their daughters grow up, right? Very personal song. Then you have songs like Waffle House, which is also a very personal song, where they're talking about their come up and how 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 difficult it was for them to get successful, and how grateful they are to be as successful as they are. Then you have songs like Miracle. You have songs like Celebrate. You have songs like you have songs like Summer Baby. You have songs like Walls that are all, they are all on the same project, and they all fit together really well. Like, again, this is a 12-song project, but it's really, really, really diverse in its soundscapes. It's really diverse in the influences that influenced this project. Now, this project was produced by Jon Bellion. If you don't know who Jon Bellion is one of the best producers of all time. Jon Bellion can go from producing and doing a record with RZA and Rock Marciano, to doing a record with the Jonas Brothers, to doing a record with Tori Kelly, to doing a record with the band Lawrence, to doing a record with to doing a record with Maroon 5. Like, this dude's so versatile in his production style, and so gifted in his production style and his gifts that he's perfected over time, right? And stuff like that. And so for me, I love this album. I love how diverse and how different the soundscapes are on this album. Now, for me, I went into this album with no expectations. You guys know that's my goal for this year, to go into things with no expectations, both in my personal life and in my and on this channel, to go into things with no expectations, both in my personal life and on this channel. Go into things that I review with no expectations. Go into programs that I have the opportunity to do with no expectations. Go into situations with no expectations. Go into video games with no expectations. And that has really worked out well for me this year, right? Because I went into this album with no expectations, and this album is so great. Now, this album has a lot of musical influences that I like to incorporate into my own music. Like, I love R&B music. I love musical theater music. I love pop music. I love a little bit of rock music influence. I love jazz, there's a lot of jazz influence on this record. So this record has a lot of my own personal influences that me and the Jonas Brothers share, but it's interpreted in their own way that makes it unique to them. And that's what makes this such a good album, is because you have Nick and Joe and Kevin singing their butts off, bro. Like, I've said this before in videos. Nick Jonas has one of the best falsettos in music ever. Like, I would put his falsetto, um, like, he may even have the best falsetto in music, in my opinion. Now that's tough because you guys know the artists that I look up to, but at least top three falsettos in music. Like, Nick Jonas is up there for me, and his vocal ability, right? And Joe is just as capable as a vocalist as Nick is, right? And you really hear them singing their butts off on this album, right? And singing with emotion and singing with passion for what they do, and um like for me this album just brought me joy. It brought me joy. It brought me happiness. Like, um I really like the production style. Like, on this record, um the Jonas Brothers do a lot of, like, vocal layering and stuff like that. If you don't know what vocal layering is, and guys, keep in mind, I am not a vocal expert. I am not a production expert. I am just a guy that loves to do these sort of things, like sing, produce, rap, act, um, play video games, be a YouTuber. But I am not an expert on anything that I cover on this channel. I am a student. I am always learning new things every single day, right? And I, I just loved this album, bro. I just loved this album. So if you don't know what vocal layering is, it's when you, or vocal stacking. Sorry, vocal stacking is, it's like when you have a vocal like, and then you record it a bunch of times, and then the producer, or if you know how to produce, you can stack the vocals on top of each other. And if it's done really well, like it is on this album, it sounds really, really, really good, right? So there's a lot of vocal stacking on this album. There's a lot of, like, interesting production, um, style, styles on this album. Obviously, the Jonas Brothers here are being produced by one of the best producers of all time. That is a, um, I would say Jon Bellion is a savant. Right? Like, I would say he's a genius, bro. Like, he Jon Bellion, for those of y'all that don't know who Jon Bellion is, he can go from doing a song with RZA and Rock Marciano to doing a song with Tori Kelly, to doing an album with Tori Kelly. Actually, he produced Tori Kelly's last album, right? Tori, to doing a Justin Bieber record with Justin Bieber. He produced Justice for Justin Bieber. He can go and do a rock pop song with Camila Cabello called Shameless, and Liar with Camila Cabello as well. Then he can go and do this album with the Jonas Brothers, and he's so versatile in his production that, like, he does have a sound to all of his production, but this dude's so versatile. Like, literally, there's parts on this album where the Jonas Brothers are rapping. Like, on one of his songs, it reminds me of a rap flow. And then there's parts on this album where the Jonas Brothers are using their voice like R&B singers, right? And there's parts on this album where they're using, like, a lot of gospel influence. There's parts on this album that um, um, are very personal and very, 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 like, Waffle House and Little Bird are very, very personal songs, and very very sung like very singer songwriter y, and very those two songs. Well, especially Little Bird. Little Bird reminds me of a country song, because of how open they're being, and how it's about them being parents, right? That's what that song's about. Little Bird is, and then you have um, you have Waffle House, which is a very personal song, but has a very catchy pop melody to it. But it's a very personal song because we're talking about their come up and their what they had to do um, to build to this point, and how strong their family unit is. That's what Waffle House is about, and them reflecting on their lives and what they've done in their lives and how much their parents have supported them. So, like you have records like that, and then you have records like Miracle. You have records like Summer Baby. You have records like Walls, which is also a very personal record. You have records like um, um, you have records like Wings, which is very like has very strong jazz elements in it. Like even bro, even one of the songs, which I'm forgetting the name of, I've listened to this album twice, right? But even one of the songs has a uh like saxophone solo on it. So like the jazz influence is definitely there. The soul influence is definitely there. The gospel influence is definitely there. The rock influence is definitely there. Like even a little bit of country with like songs like Lonely Little Bird and stuff like that. And then you also have the rock influence, as I said, with songs like Walls and things that Kevin and I mean not Kevin, things that Nick and Joe will do with their voice to make it sound more growly and more rock flavored, right? And you get a lot of Nick and Joe switching between like pop, R&B, gospel, and um and, and rock in their vocal delivery and in their vocal tones, which I find is really, 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 really dope. And I love this album. I think everybody should go listen to this album if you get the chance. And yeah, thank y'all so much for all your support. I hope you have a great day and God bless you guys. And if you enjoyed this review, please subscribe, like, and share this video. I would really appreciate it, and it would really help me out.